Hi, everyone. Okay, so we're under the influence of the most significant event of 2022, which is the Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces that takes place the 12th of April. But we will feel its energy till approximately mid-May. And we have already been feeling this energy sort of like in a climax since February 18th, more or less. So this merge of energy between these two planets brings like a wave of hypersensitivity into our lives so that we can feel more. And there's a sense of healing energy, soothing energy, flowing energy into our lives, as well as a massive opportunity of love and loving, more like a state of consciousness, not so much as the romance as we have been experiencing in our lives until now. It's more like the purest form of love there is, because that is Pisces. And Jupiter and Neptune, both planets, are the rulers of Pisces, which means that they're in its home residence and they're even stronger. So this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction hadn't happened since 1856. And it's interesting to know that in 1856, there was also invasions, there was also wars. So how is that energy of union, which is Pisces, how is that being channeled into our 3D reality right now too? But it's more about that, because Pisces has to do with the unlimited, has to do with no boundaries. So whenever there's a boom of Piscean energy like there is right now, there is a sense of overwhelming because we cannot find limits. So everything that we're feeling is very intense, but it's almost as if us humans, we're mastering how to feel. We're mastering our own sensitivity, and we're mastering how to connect with another without finding the border, without finding the limit. So with this beautiful Jupiter and Neptune conjunction, we're able to be the other. We're really able to merge our space into another human space and sort of like be one in that experience. It's very hard under this time to stay present, because there's always this vision, this dream, this utopian sensation that this Piscean boom creates. So we're almost like wanting to be in a high state constantly, because there's a need to escape reality, because reality is very overwhelming with emotions or with feelings. But it's a beautiful, beautiful time to really do something so new. It's really like once in a lifetime that we're going to be experiencing this astrological event. So the way to take advantage of it is really creating something new, birthing something new. Because what this Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is doing for us is really opening our senses, opening our hearts, so that we can be channels of the highest forms of state of consciousness into matter. Because the interesting thing about this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction is that it takes place with the energy of Saturn in Aquarius being very, very present. Because Saturn in Aquarius is right now, at the time of the conjunction, is in tension to the nodal axis. And this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction takes place connecting with the nodal axis. The nodal axis is the points, astrological degrees, that said, what is our karma as a collective? What is our karma here as a society, as a planet, as a collective? So the North Node in this nodal axis is about where are we headed as humans? What is our future? What is our destiny? What is the direction we're headed towards? And the South Node talks about what is that astrological point that sets what is that us humans we need to let go of in order to grow, in order to succeed, in order to find our true purpose, which would be the North Node. And the South Node gives us the tools, what we need to integrate in order to focus into that future, in order to be present. But it talks about letting go. What's most interesting is that this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces, which Pisces being the last energy of the zodiac sign, which already talks about finales, endings, closing times, closures, departures, it's also connecting to the South Node and the North Node, but more in a much more flowing, harmonious state, aspect, let's say, to the South Node. So this means that we're under an energy of letting go, flowing, making space. By now, I don't mean only this week. We've already been feeling this since the 18th of February. So we're already going through that energy of loss, of having lost something that was very precious, very important for us, but that we needed to lose in order to feel, in order to tap into that highest form of sensitivity inside of us, inside our hearts, so that we can feel and learn to understand our own emotions and what we need in our present moment. Because this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, together with all the aspects that happen at that exact time, has to do a lot with focusing on creating something new, on birthing, mothering, nurturing something new that has to be born. But in order for that new life to be born, we need to let go. We need to surrender. We need to flow, and we need to understand a complete new life that is opening up for all of us. And it's a much more conscious life, a much more emotional life too, much more flowing, out of control. It's completely new. It's something that we haven't experienced yet as humans, as humanity, as a collective. At least all of us that are alive right now, we haven't experienced this. So it's going to feel as something very new, especially because it takes place with Saturn being very, very active in Aquarius, which sets a new reality, a new society, a new humanity that is being birthed, that is being brought to life. So it's going to be asking us to create everything new and everything that's sustainable for the future. It's the highest form of creativity. So let's please all use it to create something conscious, something responsible, something magical. Because this Jupiter-Neptune event is the highest form of magic too, the highest form of love. And it's not a romantic love. It's the highest form of love there is. And we can all access that if we focus on vibing the most high we can at this point. Because if we experience the lowest side or the lowest frequency of this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction, it has to do a lot with wars, has to do a lot with drugs, has to do a lot with alcohol, and has to do a lot with looking for a way of unifying territories, for example, or looking for a way to let's say, like, to feel so much or to escape feelings. So it can be both ways. I would suggest doing or tapping into your highest form of spirituality, because this is a very, very spiritual union. So a lot of healers are going to be born now, or they're like, a lot of people are going to be tapping into their psychic abilities, their own healing abilities. So it's a beautiful, beautiful time to be alive, especially if we can vibe in the highest form, in the highest frequency that we can, so that we can channel the highest form of Pisces, and we can really like let our bodies heal and soothe and open up to feel this highest form of love that we have ever experienced. And it's so new because, as I said, this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction in Pisces is connected to the South Node and is asking us to really let go of everything that is not letting you vibe in that state of height, in that state of creation, in that state of magic, of love. It's unconditional love, especially for ourselves, so that we can allow the healing that we need, that we have pending to do, to take place. Because the South Node is in Scorpio and talks about really emotional struggle. So we're going to be healing that need for intensity all the time, that need for insecurity. So we're going to be cleansing a lot of old emotions, of emotions that were buried underground. Those are going to come out to the surface so that we clear them and we can step into the North Node, which is our future, with a much more conscious state, a much more present and aware state. It's a very, very beautiful event, extremely beautiful, but it can be lived in a very torture way if we do not vibe high. So let's all focus on meditating a lot, on feeling a lot, on creating. Let's put our energy into creating and birthing something new. It's also a beautiful time for pregnancy, for having babies, for seeding new projects, starting something new that you've always wanted to do, because Pisces is the energy of dreams. So the most beautiful utopian dreams that you could dream of, now they have a channel to reality. So stay with that, stay in that state of hope, of ideal, of magic, and be the magician.